For a long time, scientists thought the brain was like a machine, fixed, unchangeable after a certain age. But then they discovered something mind-blowing. Your brain can rewire itself. Every time you learn something new, practice a skill, or even change the way you think, your brain creates and strengthens new connections. This means you are not stuck with the brain you were born with. You can literally train it to be smarter, stronger, and better at anything you want from the very bottom of your mind. This ability is called neuroplasticity, and it can help you to get a better life. Let's meet Sam. He is doing his daily routine, slouched in a wobbly chair in his cramped apartment, surrounded by chaos. The coffee table sagged under a heap of greasy pizza boxes, some with crusts still stuck inside like forgotten fossils. In the far corner, a dusty old guitar leaned against the wall, its strings dull and silent. Sam hadn't touched it in months, maybe a year. His job at the warehouse was okay, lifting boxes, stacking shelves, but it wasn't what he wanted. Deep down, he dreamed of playing music, standing on a stage with lights blazing and a crowd roaring. But every time that dream flickered, a sneaky voice in his head whispered, "You are not good enough. You'll crash and burn." That voice wasn't just a passing thought. It was his subconscious mind, the hidden part of his brain running old beat-up programs that kept him stuck. Sam's life felt like a rusty bike, wheels spinning but going nowhere. So where's the voice coming from? In the late 1800s, a doctor named Sigmund Freud started poking around in people's heads. He said, "Your mind's like an iceberg. What you see up top is the conscious part, where you decide stuff. But under the water is the subconscious, a huge chunk full of hidden beliefs and feelings." For some people, that underwater chunk held on to "I'm not good enough" or "I'm a failure" from some bad things that happened in the early life. Freud mostly dug up the dark stuff, fears and old hurts, but he proved that hidden layer runs a lot of your show. Well, turns out, ever since he was a scrawny kid in a grade school, Sam has a bad memory that's stuck like gum on a shoe. A school play where he tried to sing a solo. His voice cracked, the mic squealed, and a few kids in the front row giggled. The teacher said it was fine, but Sam felt his face burn red. That moment sank deep, and his subconscious grabbed it, turning it into a rule. You are bad at stuff. Don't even try. It wasn't a thought he argued with. It just lived there, steering him away from risk. At work, he would duck chances to lead a shift. At home, he would skip picking up his guitar. Even meeting new people made his stomach twist. He'd mumble and look away, sure they'd think he was lame. So is it possible to fix this? Well, fortunately, yes. It is possible to reprogram your subconscious, just like a computer, and I'm gonna tell you how. In the early 1900s, a French guy named Emile Coué flipped the script. He was not a big shot doctor, just a pharmacist with a hunch. He noticed his patients got better faster when he told them to repeat happy thoughts, like "every day I'm getting stronger." He turned it into a trick. Say "every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better," over and over. It wasn't just good talk, it sank into their subconscious and helped them heal, like planting seeds in dirt. That sparked a wave. Maybe you could put good ideas down there on purpose. By the 1930s, a writer named Napoleon Hill ran with in his book Think and Grow Rich. He said thinking positive stuff like "I'm successful" could make it real if you kept at it long enough. Fast forward to today, and folks like Dr. Joe Dispenza use science to back it up, showing your brain can change with practice. Sam did not know this old school story, but he decided to give it a shot. His subconscious kept whispering, "You're shy, you are weak," so he picked a new thought, "I am strong." It felt weird, like wearing a too tight shirt, but he believed it would work if he didn't quit. That night, he flopped onto his sagging mattress, the springs cracking under him. He shut his eyes and started muttering, "I am strong," 10 times, his voice bunching off the cracked walls. Then he pictured it, himself on a little stage, strumming his guitar, lights flashing, a small crowd tapping their feet. He saw the sweat on his hands, heard the strings hum, felt his heart thump with excitement, not fear. It was awkward, like a bad movie in his head, but he stuck with it for 5 minutes before passing out, wondering if his brain even cared. Next morning, he shuffled to work, his boots scuffing the warehouse floor. A coworker, a big guy named Mike, waved him over during lunch break. "Hey, sit with us today." Old Sam would have ducked his head and bolted for the corner to eat alone. But that "I am strong" idea buzzed in his skull like a pesky fly. He took a slow breath, grabbed his soggy sandwich, and plopped down at the table. He didn't say much, just chewed and nodded while Mike rambled about football. But he stayed. No running, no panic. It was a baby step, but it felt huge. Science says this works. Studies from the 2000s at UCLA found that your brain can grow new paths when you repeat thoughts, a thing called neuroplasticity. A 2015 study in Social Cognitive and Affective Neuroscience found that people who repeated positive statements like "I'm strong" felt better and showed brain activity shifts in areas tied to self-worth. This means that your brain's flexible and you can steer it with effort. Sam got a test of it and went all in. He kept it simple. Anyone could copy it. Every morning, he'd stand in his tiny bathroom, toothbrush in one hand, spitting foam into the sink, and whisper, "I am strong," 10 times. The mirror fogged up, his reflection blurry, but he'd say it anyway, letting it sink in. At night, he would flop onto his bed, the room dark except for a street light sneaking through the blinds, and repeat it again, 20 times, 30, until his voice got sleepy. He'd picture that stage too, every detail sharper each time. The wooden floor cracking under his boots, the mic stand wobbling, the crowd's murmurs turning into claps. He would spend 10 minutes building that movie in his head, making it feel real, like he could reach out and touch it. He started acting like it too. At work, he'd say hi to people instead of staring at his feet, his voice shaky at first but louder each day. At home, he would grab his guitar and strum for a minute, even if the notes changed like a broken bell. He'd dust it off, tune it a little, and pluck a few strings, just enough to feel it. Bedtime was his secret weapon. Right as his eyes drooped, his brain softened quiet, he'd whisper, "I am strong," over and over, then drift off picturing that stage. It was like sneaking a new rule into his head while it wasn't looking. He did this every single day. Rainy mornings, tired nights, no skipping. It wasn't instant, more like dripping water carving a rock, but week by week, it stuck. One afternoon, his boss asked for a volunteer to move a heavy stack of crates. Old Sam would have shrunk back, letting someone else grab it, but "I'm strong" flickered in his mind. He raised his hand, held the crates, and didn't even groan when his back twinged. His subconscious was bending, slowly but real. Sam's life lit up with awesome changes. His habits shifted. Old patterns like slumping on the couch for hours faded. He'd grab his guitar instead, strumming a clumsy tune, or tidy a pizza box off the table without thinking twice. Confidence grew too, not a loud, showy kind, but a quiet "I can do this" vibe. Saying hi at work turned into short chats, then swapping dumb jokes with Mike. Every little win piled up, making him feel solid, not shaky. Stress melted away too. Nights used to be a tangle of worries, money, work, that old school play memory. Now, "I am strong" hushed those thoughts. Like turning down a noisy radio. His dreams got closer. Playing music wasn't just a fuzzy wish anymore. He practiced more, his fingers stumbling less, and he started googling open mic nights, his heart racing with excitement, not dread. Best of all, he felt in control. That old "you are weak" voice was not calling the shots. He was rewriting the rules, picking who he wanted to be. It was like finding a hidden switch in his brain. Flip it, and everything glowed brighter. Sam's journey wasn't all smooth. One day he got greedy. He tried, "I'm strong, I'm rich, I'm a music god," all at once. His brain spun like a hamster on a wheel, too many ideas crashing together. He learned it should be one thought at a time. Keep it simple or it's mush. Once he just pictured playing on stage but didn't touch his guitar. Days later he was still rusty. Remember, thoughts need action or they're just hot air. And months of practices later, he finally hit an open mic night. His heart pounding, he played 3 tunes. The crowd clapped, not huge, but real. Sam grinned ear to ear. "I am strong," he thought, and his subconscious finally agreed. Lying in bed that night strumming air guitar, he didn't know Freud started this mind stuff, or Cooey proved it with happy words, or Hale and Dispenza tied it to science. But he felt it. Studies saying his brain could rewire, habits could shift, confidence could grow. Reprogramming was not fast, but it was real. Reprogramming your subconscious is swapping old junk for new gold. From Freud's deep digs to modern brain hacks, science says it's real. Your mind bends with practice. Do it now. Say good stuff, picture wins, act it out, use sleep, and keep going. You'll get better habits, gut, calm, and dreams. Avoid doubt, rush, or laziness. And if you mess up, just laugh it off and try again. And always remember, reprogramming your brain takes weeks, maybe months, not a quick snap. But every little step matters. So keep it up. Let your subconscious be the first layer of you, become the best version of yourself. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. And don't forget to check out my other videos too. Thanks for watching. I hope my channel could help you to improve in minutes. See you in the next video.